Imagine waking up every day with an unbreakable mind, free from doubt, fear, and self-sabotaging thoughts. Picture yourself moving through life with the serenity of a Stoic warrior, facing every obstacle with the certainty that nothing external has power over you. Most people are prisoners of their own minds. They drown in worries, judge their past, fear the future, and allow negativity to paralyze them. But there is a truth that few understand. It is not events that affect us, but the story we tell ourselves about them. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor of Rome, understood this better than anyone. In the midst of wars, betrayals, and unimaginable challenges, he discovered an unshakable principle. True strength is not found in what you possess, but in how you train your mind. In this video, we will explore the most powerful teachings of Stoicism to annihilate negative thinking, regain control of your life, and forge a mind of steel. If you're ready to stop being a slave to your emotions and start thinking like a Stoic, join me on this journey. It's time to transform your mind. It's time to awaken your true power. 1. Master your inner dialogue before it masters you. Your mind is a battlefield. Every day, hundreds of small wars are fought between confidence and doubt, between hope and fear, between action and procrastination. And at the center of it all is your inner dialogue, that voice that never stops, constantly interpreting what happens to you, and without you even realizing it, shaping your reality. If that voice is your enemy, you will be defeated before you even begin. I'm not good enough. I always mess up. I'm bound to fail. These thoughts are not just passing phrases. They are direct orders that your mind follows to the letter. Marcus Aurelius understood this well. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. If you let negativity take over, your life will become a reflection of that mental chaos. But if you train your mind to reframe every thought in a useful and constructive way, you will be unstoppable. Next time a negative thought appears, ask yourself, is this 100% true, or is it just my interpretation? Does this thought help me or sabotage me? If a friend were in my place, would I say the same thing to them? Start speaking to yourself like a mentor, not an enemy. Replace "I can't do it" with "I don't know how yet, but I'll figure it out." Change "I'm a failure" to "I'm learning and growing." The words you use inside your mind define your destiny. Master your inner dialogue before it masters you. Before we continue, I ask you to like and share this video to help more people. And if you don't want to miss my future content, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. 2. Remember that everything is fleeting, even your suffering. Nothing in life is permanent. Not success, not failure, not happiness, not sadness. Everything that seems overwhelming today will eventually fade away like sand slipping through your fingers. So why cling to suffering as if it were eternal? Marcus Aurelius put it clearly. Soon you will forget everything, soon everyone will forget you. This may sound harsh, but in reality it is freeing. No burden lasts forever. No matter how dark the storm seems, it will pass in the end. When suffering strikes, remember, you have already overcome difficult times before. In a year, a month, or even just a week, you will see this differently. How many times have you thought something was the end of the world, only to realize it wasn't? Stoicism teaches us to accept pain without resisting it, but also not to feed it with our minds. When we suffer, we tend to exaggerate the situation, to relive it over and over again in our thoughts, giving it more power than it actually has. The key is simple. Observe but do not cling. Imagine your suffering as a leaf floating on a river. If you hold on to it, you will be trapped in it. But if you let it go, the current will do its job. So when life tests you, breathe and tell yourself, this too shall pass, because it will pass. And when the storm is over, you'll realize that you are still here, stronger than before. 3. Reality is neutral. You decide how to interpret it. Life is not what happens to you, but the meaning you give to what happens. The same situation can destroy one person and strengthen another. Why? Because it's not the events that influence us, but the story we tell ourselves about them. Marcus Aurelius made it clear, we worry more about the opinions of others than about our own perception of ourselves. Imagine someone criticizing you. That criticism says nothing about you. It only reveals their way of seeing the world. Two people can perceive you in completely opposite ways. One admires you, the other despises you. So which version is the truth? If you live worrying about what others think, you will never be free. You will make decisions not based on what you want, but on what you believe will make you look good. And slowly, you will lose your authenticity. The answer will always be the same. Only you can define yourself. If you know who you are, nothing external can shake you. You don't need anyone's approval because you already have your own. Remember, other people's opinions are neither your truth nor your destiny. 4. The mind is a muscle. Train your mental strength. Just as you strengthen your body through exercise, your mind also needs training. No one is born with unshakable willpower or ironclad resilience. They are built day by day, with every decision, every thought, and every challenge faced. Marcus Aurelius understood this well. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. If you allow your mind to be filled with doubts and excuses, it will weaken. But if you train it with discipline, focus, and control, it will become your greatest strength. Difficult moments don't destroy you, they reveal you. When facing a crisis, your mind can react in two ways: collapse or grow stronger. The difference lies in prior training. How do you expect to remain calm in a storm if you have never practiced patience? How do you hope to overcome failure if you have never developed resilience? Mental training starts with small daily victories. First, challenge yourself. Wake up when you said you would. Keep your word even when no one is watching. Second, control your inner dialogue. Talk to yourself like a mentor, not an enemy. Third, embrace discomfort. Every time you face something difficult without giving up, your strength grows. Fourth, change the narrative. Don't think, "I can't take this anymore," but rather, "This is making me stronger." Every obstacle is a gym for your mind. The more you train, the less power fear, doubt, and negativity will have over you. Don't wait for hard times to become strong. Start today. Because when life tests you, your mind must be ready to endure, adapt, and win. 5. Don't waste energy on what you can't control. Imagine yourself in the middle of a storm. You can yell at the sky, curse the rain, or complain that your day is ruined, but none of that will change the weather. The only result will be a useless waste of energy. The Stoics understood that much of human suffering comes from the obsession with trying to control the uncontrollable. Marcus Aurelius put it clearly: if something external disturbs you, the problem is not in the thing itself, but in the importance you give it. Your energy is limited. If you waste it worrying about what others think, other people's actions, or unavoidable situations, you will end up exhausted and frustrated. But if you channel it into what you can change, your attitude, your discipline, your ability to adapt, you will become stronger and unshakable. Ask yourself whenever you feel anxious, is this really under my control, and can I do anything to change it? If the answer is no, then does it make sense to keep worrying? The answer almost always will be no. And instead of wasting energy, you can use it to improve yourself, move forward, and build your inner peace. When you stop obsessing over what you can't control, you reclaim your power. You are no longer a puppet of circumstances, but the master of your mind. And that is where true freedom lies. 7. Every obstacle is a test, not a punishment. When life places an obstacle in your path, it's easy to see it as an injustice, a curse, or something standing between you and your goals. However, Stoics like Marcus Aurelius teach us a different perspective. What happens is not the problem, how you respond to it is. Every difficulty you face is a test of your character. Instead of seeing it as a barrier, consider it an opportunity to prove your strength. Obstacles are not punishments, but disguised opportunities. They are testing grounds where the most powerful virtues are forged. Patience, perseverance, resilience. Life was never designed to be easy. No one promised a path without struggles. But each time you overcome an obstacle, you move closer to the person you are meant to become. When you view obstacles this way, you stop feeling powerless in front of them. You see them as something that pushes you to grow, improve, and expand your limits. True transformation is found in adversity. Remember, obstacles are not there to stop your progress, but to test your determination, adaptability, and ability to move forward. Every time you overcome one, you prove that you are stronger than any difficulty life throws at you, and in that process, you become the best version of yourself. 8. Rewrite your story. You are the one who decides the meaning of your past. Our past is a fundamental part of our identity, but what truly defines us is not what happened. It's how we choose to interpret what happened. We've all experienced difficult moments, failures, or even betrayals, but what truly matters is the meaning we give to these events. You are the author of your story, and it is up to you to decide how to write it. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us that it is not the past that affects us, but how we interpret it. The way you see your past experiences can either be one of the greatest sources of power or one of the greatest sources of suffering in your life. If you keep holding on to past wounds, seeing them as a burden that prevents you from moving forward, they will continue to control your life. But if you choose to rewrite your story, viewing those events as lessons, as stepping stones for growth, you free yourself from their power. The key lies in taking responsibility for your own narrative. This doesn't mean denying what happened or minimizing the pain. It means choosing not to let the past define your present. You can see failure as a valuable lesson or as a permanent defeat. The choice is yours. Remember, your past is only a part of your life, not your entire life. By rewriting your story, you transform pain into power, mistakes into wisdom, and losses into momentum. You are the architect of your future, and it all starts with the story you decide to tell yourself. 9. Be grateful for what you have instead of complaining about what you lack. We live in an era where instant gratification and the constant desire for more are the norm. We are surrounded by advertisements, social media, and societal expectations that tell us it's never enough, that we always need more money, more recognition, more success. However, true peace and happiness do not come from what we don't have, but from recognizing and appreciating what we already have in front of us. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us that life is short and time fades away. Don't waste it longing for what you don't have. Constantly desiring what is missing robs us of the power to enjoy what we already have. Each day is an opportunity to practice gratitude and train our minds to focus on the positive rather than on what we have yet to achieve. When we focus on what we lack, we create a mental space of scarcity and frustration. But if, instead, we are grateful for what we have, our lives become filled with abundance. Not necessarily material, but emotional and spiritual. Gratitude shifts our perspective. We can see what we have as a gift, as a resource to move forward, rather than as a limitation. Try this exercise. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They can be big achievements or small blessings, like a pleasant conversation or a moment of calm. By doing this regularly, you will begin to notice how your mind naturally focuses more on abundance rather than scarcity. Being grateful for what you have does not mean settling for less. It means recognizing that you are already enough, and that what you have now can be the foundation for achieving everything you desire. Every moment of gratitude brings you closer to a richer, fuller, and more peaceful life. 10. Action destroys doubt. Act before you get trapped in overthinking. Doubt is one of the most paralyzing forces we can experience. It's that inner voice that tells you you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, that it's better to wait, or that the right moment will never come. Doubt traps you in an endless cycle of indecision and fear, and while you keep thinking, time keeps passing. But there is a simple and powerful solution. Take action. Marcus Aurelius taught that we should not be prisoners of our minds, but should act according to reason and virtue. Don't let overthinking paralyze you. Action is the antidote to doubt. Every time you allow doubt to take over, you delay your progress. You overanalyze what could go wrong, the potential failures, but rarely do you realize that action is what can truly dissolve those doubts. When you act, even in small ways, you create momentum. Each step takes you further away from paralysis and closer to your goal. And most importantly, action teaches you. You will learn from your mistakes. You will adapt. But the key is that you will have moved forward, whereas staying trapped in doubt keeps you in the same place, allowing fear and uncertainty to control you. Don't let your thoughts become a cage. The first step is always the hardest, but it is also the most powerful. Action destroys doubt, because when you act, you begin to see that things are not as scary as you imagined, and by doing so, you cultivate courage with every action you take. Final thoughts. And there you have it, 10 powerful Stoic lessons to overcome negative thinking and take control of your mind. Remember, Your mind is your most powerful ally, but only if you learn to train and master it. If you feel inspired by these teachings, I encourage you to apply each of these lessons and observe how your life begins to transform. If this video was helpful to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with family and friends. Stoic philosophy has the potential to change many lives, and your support is crucial in helping more people access these transformative ideas. And if you enjoyed this content, don't miss our next video, where we will explore even more tools to improve your mindset and strengthen your character. See you in the next video.